Hi, History Through Film. Welcome to U3-L3, Basics of World War II, Part 2. This is Miss Corey. Again, these slideshows I originally had for my world history, but I modified them a little bit to fit a little bit more with History Through Film. So you're going to watch this Ed puzzle, answer the questions. Any question in blue text is going to be a question I want you to answer directly on the Ed puzzle. And of course, if you have questions or comments or simply want to learn more, please let me know. Learning targets describe the social, political, and economic causes and main turning points of World War II. Describe the causes and consequences of the Nazi Holocaust, including the effects of the Nazi regime's war against the Jews and other groups. So, heads up, today will be other heavy topics. So, today we will start with talking about the Holocaust. So, I know you all have learned about the Holocaust before because I know it's a requirement in middle school. And a lot of you are 10th grade or above, so I know that you talk about it in US history. You talk about it in world history, so you have learned about it at some point in your school career. So, what is something you remember learning about the Holocaust? There's a lot to talk about with the Holocaust. So, what was the Holocaust? It was the systematic mass slaughter of the Jews from the German government and its allies, which caused a genocide. It lasted from January of 1933 until May of 1945. So it wasn't just the Jewish people who were affected by the Holocaust. They were the main group, but also people descending from Africa, people from Romania, people who were Slavic, which is from the Balkan region, or Russia, people with a mental or physical disability, gay people, communists, and Jehovah Witnesses and Catholics were also persecuted. In 1942, Hitler begins his final solution. So instead of working Jewish people to death in concentration camp, he orders them to be killed instantly, which was mass murder at a systematic level. Part of the final solution was the Nazis building extermination camps with gas chambers. So SS doctors would keep the strong men and some women alive to work, but mostly women, kids, elderly, sick were told to go take a shower. That is where they were stripped of their clothes, went to the shower, and killed with cyanide gas coming out of the shower holes. So here's a picture of what one of those showers look like. So as you can see here, um, up here is where the gas would leak out, fill the room, and then kill everybody in that room. So really good question. Did the US know about the mass killing of Jews before 1945? Yes, the US was aware. By 1942, escaped prisoners alerted governments and the media from all around the world. President Roosevelt, or to shorten his name, call him FDR, made empty promises to free the Jews in the concentration camps right away, but that did not happen until after the war in 1945. So it wasn't until January of 1944 that FDR makes the War Refugee Board, or the WRB, to help Jews get out of Germany and the concentration camps. So war ends in May of 1945, at least for the European side, and the US is more focused on taking over Germany's government than freeing the Jews from the concentration camps. So, according to the National World War II Museum, about 6 million Jews were killed. On top of that, another 5 million prisoners of war, Romanian, Slav, Jehovah Witnesses, and other persecuted groups were also killed. So here's a map of some of the largest concentration camps across Europe. You'll see there in Germany as well as Poland, probably the most famous being Auschwitz. But it wasn't just exclusive to those big camps. So all of these dots here represent a concentration or a work camp. So you can see there's hundreds of them scattered throughout Germany, Poland, and elsewhere. So the Third Reich, November 5th, 1937, Hitler tells his advisors that he's going to take over Austria and Czechoslovakia. So here, this is a modern day map, by the way, but here's Germany, okay? Here's Czechoslovakia, so it's what modern day Czech Republic and Slovakia are. So just combine those two. And then Austria, which is like to the south of Germany. And then once he took those over, that would become the start of the Third Reich or the German Empire. So Hitler wanted more Lebensraum or living space, so he promised the Germans to conquer the space in Russia as well as parts of Eastern Europe. In March of 1938, Germany takes over Austria, which again is just south of Germany. The Allied countries are very aware of this, but they don't do anything about it. There's also a Czech crisis. So this land right here, kind of outlined in white, is called the Sudetenland, and it's in the northwest part of Czechoslovakia. And there are about 3 million German people that live in just this little land here, and Hitler wants that land for himself. So, something called the Munich Conference started. So, this happened in September of 1938. It's where Britain, France, Italy, and Germany all came together, literally in the same room, around the same table, and hashed out this deal. So the result of the Munich Conference is that they would allow Hitler to take Austria into the Sudetenland if he promised not to take any other land. Hitler, of course, agreed to these demands, and he agreed that he would not have any more demands or take over any more land. Neville Chamberlain, who was the Prime Minister of Great Britain at this time, thought this agreement was peace for our time because they did not want to go back into another world war since the other world war just ended back in 1919. So it hadn't even been 20 years since the last world war. Great Britain also had a pre war policy of appeasement, especially towards Germany. So Great Britain thought that if they gave into the minor demands of Germany, Germany would be satisfied and maintain peace in Europe. But Great Britain was very, very wrong about this. So, the betrayal. That happened March 1939 when Hitler takes Czechoslovakia. Britain and France realize Hitler is a liar and he does not want peace. They know that he sets his eye next on conquering Poland. So, Hitler demands the Polish port of Danzig, and the Britain promises to help Poland against Hitler if Hitler ever invades Poland. And that's exactly what happened. So, way back in 1934, Hitler also signed a non aggression pact with Poland. He breaks it. Many Germans hate Poland because it was partially created with German territory from the Treaty of Versailles, which was way back in World War I. So Germany finally invades Poland, and it is generally considered to be the act that sparks the beginning of World War II. So Hitler invades Poland on September 1st in 1939. He uses the Blitzkrieg warfare tactic, which translates to lightning war. That's where the attack on the ground with air support. And this strategy allowed Germany to have military success at the beginning of World War II. Poland doesn't last very long. They surrender September 29th, 1939. So Great Britain, France, and see this, and they're like, what the what? Come on, Germany. We had this agreement that if you didn't invade anywhere else, you could have Austria and the Sudetenland. But Great Britain and France should probably have known better that Hitler would not be satisfied. So on September 3rd, 1939, Great Britain and France declare war on Germany. Another really good question. How did Germany, Japan, and Italy become allies? That's a good question, but we don't really have time to get to it all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You can look at my slideshow. I have the answers there, but um, we'll skip through it for this time. All right, so wrap up. Today we talked about the Holocaust, final solution, Third Reich, Lebensraum, Munich Conference, appeasement, and Blitzkrieg. Next up, you're going to do U3-L4, Basics of World War II, Part 3, which is another one of my ed puzzles. If you have questions, comments, or want to learn more, please let me know. I'm more than happy to answer those. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.